1% of your DNA might come from a 69,000-year-old love story. And that's actually a pretty spicy fact. Sis, what's up? I'm here to bring you the hottest, most unhinged facts about our extinct ancestors. Like this week's episode, which is gonna spill the tea on a long-lost hookup that left its mark on our genome. So grab a cup of coffee, cozy up, because this is gonna be a tale you don't want to miss. And if you stick around to the end, I'll drop a little secret that's sure to leave you shook. But for now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We were alone 69,000 years ago. Okay, so picture this. It's 69,000 years ago, and you're us minding your own business as a Homo sapien trying to make it in the world. Well, turns out you're not alone. Our old pals, the Neanderthals and Denisovans, are also hanging out in various parts of the world. The Neanderthals are chilling in Europe and West Asia, while the Denisovans have set up shop in Asia. Now, these folks aren't exactly the same species as us, but they are pretty genetically similar, like 98 to 99% similar. They are our close cousins, and although they may not have been the same species as us, they were still part of the big human family tree. So think of it like you're at a family reunion and you're catching up with your second cousins, the Neanderthals and Denisovans. Sure, you're not super close, but you still have a lot more in common than you might think. And who knows, maybe you'll even learn a thing or two about your family history along the way. Interbreeding actually happened. Here's the juiciest part, though. Recent studies have shown that Homo sapiens didn't just coexist with the Neanderthals and Denisovans. They also got busy with them. Yep, interbreeding actually happened. This is based on genetic evidence showing that modern humans outside of Africa carry 1–4% of Neanderthal DNA and 3–7% of Denisovan DNA. Scientists believe this mixing of genes occurred when Homo sapiens started migrating out of Africa and bumped into these other human species in Eurasia. And we're talking about a pretty steamy rendezvous, because some researchers estimate that the interbreeding started as early as 69,000 years ago. That's right, 69,000 years ago. If that's not enough to make you blush, I don't know what is. But hold on, because we're just getting started. It wasn't just a one-night stand either. These encounters likely happened over a span of thousands of years. The timing seems to align with when Homo sapiens moved out of Africa and into new territories. As they spread across the globe, they would have encountered the Neanderthals and Denisovans, and well, sparks would have flown. It wasn't just about survival. Now, you might be wondering, why would Homo sapiens mate with other human species? Was it just about survival? Did they see a cute Neanderthal and go for it? Well, it wasn't that simple. Sure, Neanderthals and Denisovans might have had some desirable traits that made Homo sapiens take a second look. They were, after all, genetically similar to us. But let's be real, there was probably more to the story. Some researchers believe that there were intimate relationships between the different human species. So, it wasn't just a case of survival of the fittest, it was also a case of love, maybe even lust. And that brings us to the 69,000-year-old love story. While it's not a literal love story, there is evidence that suggests romantic relationships did happen between members of different human species. It's possible that our ancestors weren't immune to the charms of a good-looking Neanderthal or Denisovan. After all, we're all human, right? In fact, some researchers believe that the exchange of genetic material between these different species was driven by choice. So it wasn't just a case of survival or reproduction. It was also about finding a partner and starting a family with someone from a different species. Imagine being so attracted to a Neanderthal that you decide to ditch your Homo sapien partner for them. It's crazy, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility. The DNA lives on in you. Now that we've established that our ancestors weren't shy about getting busy with other human species, it's time to talk about the ultimate proof of their wild hookups, the DNA that lives on in you. That's right. You're not just a Homo sapien. You're a mix of several different species. Most people of non-African descent carry 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA, and some Southeast Asians carry up to 5% Denisovan DNA. And don't think for a second that this DNA is just some random genetic quirk. It actually has real effects on how we look and function. For example, scientists have linked Neanderthal genes to things like skin tone and hair color. So, if you have darker skin or curlier hair, you can thank your Neanderthal ancestors for that. But it's not just our physical traits that are influenced by Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA. Our immune system strength, pain sensitivity, sleep patterns, and even our risk for depression can be affected by genes we inherited from these other human species. It's incredible to think that we're walking, talking DNA, smoothies, but it's true. We're a melting pot of genes from different human species, and each one plays a role in shaping who we are. Was it really love? Now that we know that interbreeding between Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and Denisovans really happened, there's a new question on everyone's mind. Was it really love, or was it something more complicated? Some researchers believe that the relationships between these different species were complex and involved alliances, trade, and possibly even mixed camps. Imagine a world where Neanderthals, Denisovans, and Homo sapiens lived together in harmony, trading goods and services, and maybe even fighting alongside one another. It sounds far-fetched, but it's not out of the question. Others believe that the relationships were more antagonistic, involving conquest, coercion, or simply the need for survival. Think about it. If you're a member of the weaker group, you might feel pressured to make alliances with other human species in order to survive. It's a harsh reality, but it's the truth of the natural world. Whatever the case may be, there's no denying that the relationships between these different human species were complex and had a profound impact on our DNA. Their species died, but their DNA didn't. Now it's time to face the sad truth. The Neanderthals and Denisovans are gone. Their species died out thousands of years ago, leaving only their genes behind. But here's the twist. Their genes live on in you. That's right. You carry a small percentage of their DNA in your body right now. It's a reminder that even though they're gone, they're not forgotten. Their legacy lives on through us, through the love stories that connected our ancestors and the DNA that binds us together. It's a powerful thought that makes you wonder how much more we have in common with our extinct relatives than we might think. The Neanderthals and Denisovans may be gone, but their spirit lives on in the genes they passed down to us. Genes, like little pieces of history, they tell the story of our ancestors and the choices they made, the loves they had, and the challenges they faced. It's a story that's been written in our DNA and passed down through generations. A story of survival, adaptation, and the endless curiosity of the human spirit. It's a reminder that we are the sum of our past, both the good and the bad, and that our story is far from over. So as you look in the mirror, remember that you're not just looking at yourself. You're looking at a living, breathing piece of history. You're looking at the legacy of our ancestors and the love stories that connected them. You are a walking, talking testament to the power of love and the enduring spirit of humanity. And that, my friend, is a story worth telling. Okay, so for those who stuck around till the end, I've got a little twist for you. Remember that 1% of you might come from a 69,000-year-old love story. Well, let me add a little spice to that statistic. You're not a pure Homo sapiens. You're a walking blend of extinct species you never met, a genetic stew of love stories you had no part in. Think about it. Your identity is shaped by species that died out before modern humans even showed up. 1% of your DNA, literally a relic of the past, and that's kind of mind-blowing. So yeah, 1% of you might come from a 69,000-year-old love story. But the real question is, what did we forget about who we are?